We have been traveling together a long way this Lenten season. We began with Ash Wednesday, where we're reminded that we're dusty people. We are dust, and to dust we will return. We then entered the wilderness, following Jesus' baptism, the beginning of his earthly ministry. And we saw how the wilderness shaped God's people and how it continues to shape us today. We've heard about unlikely disciples. Abram, called to be a father of a great people when his wife was barren and beyond childbearing years. Nicodemus, a Pharisee who comes to question Jesus by night and instead hears about a puzzling new birth. From there, we shifted location to Samaria, where we met an unnamed woman at a well, a person with 3 strikes against her. She was a woman. She was a Samaritan, and she was living with a man who was not her husband after she had had 5 husbands. Yet many point to her as being the first evangelist, for she brought the message that Jesus was Messiah to her people. We met a blind man who, having gained his sight, saw more clearly than all the ones who thought that they could see just 5. Each of these people all gave us insights into our spiritual life and asked us how we see others and how we see ourselves. And finally, we saw how even the dead responded to the power of God. The bones in the valley, which God commanded Ezekiel to preach to, and Lazarus, who was called out of the tomb. Such unlikely calls, such unlikely disciples. Then we turn to the triumphal entry into Jerusalem. Loud hosannas still ring in our ears. The cries of "Save us!" "Overthrow the Romans! Restore the nation!" Our King is coming. He is here. Throw down your cloaks. Put branches on the roads. Rejoice! But tonight things are very different. The tone is somber. The sense is that everyone is trying very hard not to be noticed. This week there has been a confrontation at the temple where Jesus drove out the money changers. The hostility has reached a fevered pitch. And here is Jesus, acting as host for a meal. Then the text says the chilling words that Jesus knew that his hour had come to depart from this world and to go to the Father. Having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. He loved them to the end. He loved them despite their hardness of heart, despite their denseness, despite the fact that one who he was eating with, who he was cleaning their dusty feet, betrayed him to an unbelievably cruel death. He loved them. And he loves you, and he loves me. He came into the world to save each of us. Maundy Thursday, or Holy Thursday, is a day of remembering. It was a day of remembering Jesus' time as well, when he celebrated the first Last Supper. The Passover meal was given centuries before and is still celebrated today by Jews, both observant and not so much. It's a festival or a feast, recreating and retelling the story of God's miraculous work in freeing the enslaved Hebrew people. It's not just some ordinary meal, but one with deep and rich significance, reenacting God's merciful redemption from bondage to freedom and justice. But there was something else going on here as well, a reordering of world and customs and identity. Most Maundy Thursday services include the Lord's Supper because we know that Jesus shared a meal with his disciples and gave us this sacrament. However, in John's Gospel, the attention is on a far different and a far more radical act. Remember, we heard on Palm Sunday how the city, Jerusalem, was in turmoil because Jesus had come riding on a donkey. The question in many minds was he the long-hoped-for Messiah, the king who was coming to restore the Davidic kingdom? The signs were there. Here is Zechariah's prophecy. Rejoice greatly, O daughter Zion. Shout aloud, O daughter Jerusalem. Lo, your king comes to you. Triumphant and victorious is he. Humble and riding on a donkey. On a colt, the foal of a donkey. We see Jesus as King of Kings and Lord of Lords. But that's not how the people, even those who thought he was the fulfillment of that prophecy, saw him. They thought in terms of an earthly king. And even if he was humble, there were certain things that would be expected. Honor and deference, and well, serving him in all manner of things. That's just the way it was. You serve those above you and expected to be served by those below you. It was society's glue. It held everything together. It was predictable. But is that how we see Jesus, our Lord and Savior? Perhaps you might think back to just a little bit earlier in Matthew, where Jesus was speaking to his disciples. Jesus says, "You know that the rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and their great ones are tyrants over them. It will not be so among you. But whoever wishes to be great among you must be your servant. And whoever wishes to be first among you must be your slave. Just as the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve and to give his life a ransom for many." So let's take a step back in time to first century Palestine. Let's think about how people traveled. It was primarily on foot, along non-paved roads, and these feet were normally either bare or wearing sandals. It doesn't take much imagination to think how dirty your feet would be after a long day on the road or working in a field. And then add to that most homes had dirt floors. It was a sign of hospitality to offer a guest water to wash their feet. Think of how good that would feel to have cool water poured over hot, tired, aching feet. However, because it was such a dirty and yes, smelly task, only the lowest slave in the household would actually wash the feet. In fact, under Jewish law, a Jewish slave could not be required to wash his master's feet. No, that task was reserved for a Gentile slave. Much more common, though, was for water to be provided for the guest's shoes, and the guests would wash their own feet. Yet, here is Jesus taking off his outer robe and performing such a lowly task. Make no mistake about it, by the standards of the day, what he was doing was unthinkable. Peter is horrified that his teacher, the one he himself has proclaimed as Messiah, is stooping down to clean his feet. That was not how it was supposed to be happening. Likely, he would have been far more comfortable performing the service to Jesus. But the patterns of power and hierarchy are reversed in this radical act of service. Power was redefined and a new community was born, one in which service to one another was the appropriate pattern, rather than being given to only those who were more powerful. We must also note, included in the service that Jesus was performing, was the one who was about to betray him. And I think that speaks to us on who we're to offer service to. We're to offer service freely to everyone, not just those that we think favor us. Jesus washing Judas's feet, just as he did the others, gives us that as a clear sign. He did not single out his betrayer's identity, though he certainly knew who he was. Instead, by his actions, he gives us a better way to see this commandment of loving each other. Love is no longer some kind of abstract concept or mere feelings. It cannot be seen as a disassociated service, but a response in the here and now to those around us. Love is not a sanitary, sterile thing, but a true reaching out, offering compassion to our brothers and sisters. How then can we demonstrate Jesus' words of, just as I have loved you, you also should love one another? I will be the first to say that during this time of pandemic, it's not easy. We must remain socially distant to protect not only ourselves, but those who are at high risk if they contract the disease. But that doesn't mean we can't have contact in other ways with others. I'm sure most of you have seen hearts in windows and teddy bears, which offer thanks and encouragement and hope. And we can still reach out with smiles and waves or cards and letters and emails. We can even use new technologies like FaceTime or Zoom, or old ones like the phone to maintain contact. Jesus directs us to a new community whose identifying mark is the love they have for one another. Indeed, the love should be so visible that anyone seeing it will know without question that they are Jesus' disciples. That can be a scary thing, a risky thing. Love, as Jesus showed, was concrete, based in actions. He will continue to demonstrate it as he pays the price for our sins on the cross. Love is the greatest of the commandments, and we're called to have the same radical love in our lives. And that can be daunting. How can I love so much? Friends, we have an example. The one who we follow as present-day disciples. The one who can give us the grace and the courage to reach out in our hurting world. Starting right here, right now. And then going out, virtually for the moment, to our world. Time is short. The cross is ahead. Who do you serve? Who will you serve? Who will you follow? Amen and amen.